Ho, ho, hope will never die. It's Christmas time here at Oilers Nation. If you couldn't tell, come on, Liam, show it off, big guy. Yeah. Picture frame, perfect picture frame right there. Live from Dog Patch down in the River Valley for our Oilers Nation Everyday Christmas party. We are excited to have one hell of an evening tonight. This place is already starting to fill up. You see lots of familiar faces over there, including Sergeant Battle. Get in the chat, come on. Throw down your courtesy like I know you need to do that. Is the Edmonton Oilers, they're taking on the Minnesota Wild, the top dog in the Western Conference. But hello and welcome to Pre-Gaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. This evening, I'm going to be joined by my pal, Liam Horrobin. What did Jay say earlier today? He actually said British humor.
I know, I let him off because he was Santa.
Yeah, I guess you would. You're supposed to say English.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say, that is the one thing you have taught me.
Well, it's truth.
Yeah,
You would never call a Welshman a Brit.
I don't even know if you would. I don't even know what that is. But catching up in the chat, let's say hello to everybody. We've got Sadistic Angel in here. He says, let's go, Oilers. Sadistic, 15 minutes till Bordzy time. Bo says, we love when the Oilers streak. Shout out to Brett for that episode title today. Can confirm we are both, in fact, wearing pants. I've seen some names in here. Terrible lighting, says Eric. All right, why don't you lay off right now? We got some bright lights in front of us. Eric with a K? Come on, you kidding me? We love you all. Happy to have you with us tonight. And as we've said, come on, you should have got down here already. We dropped these tickets on Nation Gear for our event. When did we start teasing this thing? Like 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah, but then I think those ticket sales went on like a week ago.
Yeah.
So you guys sold it out very quickly. So thank you very much. I'm very excited for the evening ahead. We have Liam's game. We
have multiple rounds of Liam's game.
And quite frankly, I don't think anything else matters.
We bought whiteboards for this event. We've got all kinds of trivia. We're going to be giving away Oodle Noodle coupons, Greta Bar Yag gift cards, and we're giving away a white Edmonton Oilers away jersey this evening. Lots of fun stuff on tap. We even wheeled in our own. Is that an 85-inch TV over there?
That's your classic 80-inch flat screen.
80-inch die? Yeah, okay, not 85. All right, I got a little crazy there, but it's going to be a good one tonight. Already so many jerseys in here. The thing about Dog Patch, Liam, is it's more, we've done live events at Greta before, right? And it is absolute madness. Take my word for it. This one's a bit of a different setting, different vibe. It's more intimate in here, and I think we're all going to be able to hear each other. Yeah. So that's nice. That's been an issue at Greta in times. Not complaining, but this one's very excited. We got $7 Odd Company Nation beers. They're also on tap, as you can tell right here.
Damn, look at that. Yeah, they are delicious.
That is so good. And who knows, people, we might have a couple more prizes in store as well. But let's kick it off, because before we go, we know the rules here. You get in a super chat, it's going towards the Ben Stelter Foundation. So boom, we've got our first one of the day, and it is QF Pro in for $5. And he says, pre-gaming from Dog Patch? Let's go, boys. You're damn right. And then Mr. Lubrication. Pause on that one. McDad is about to make the Minnesota Wild his Minnesota child. Let's get lubricated. Yeah, I think there are going to be some beers flowing throughout this evening. So remember, all donations from the Super Chat, they're going to the Ben Stelter Foundation, not to our alcohol. We're going to buy those ourselves, as of course you want your Nation beers. Now, let's just start talking off with some Edmonton Oilers talk, because Game 1 of 5, Liam, of that incredibly difficult 5-game stretch that I refer to as a murderer's row. You got Tampa, you got Minnesota tonight, Vegas Saturday, then Florida, then Boston. And, brother, they kicked that off pretty damn good against the Tampa Bay Lightning, holding them to 1 goal on the evening. Tampa came in the second highest scoring team in the entire NHL. But something we haven't said a lot this year about the Oilers, I thought that game was all about defense. Defense first. And you're going to limit that number 2 scoring team to 1 goal on the evening. But it was top to bottom. It was forwards back checking. It was D-men in their own end. And, of course, you got some good goaltending from Stuart Skinner. But they felt like defensively they weren't giving the opposition that much. They were waiting for their opportunities, pouncing in the neutral zone, which was super evident by the 2 breakaways Connor McDavid had, and then 2 breakaways that Leon Draisaitl had. And you don't want to quote your Shoresy boys, but forecheck, back check, paycheck, baby. So they're doing it all. Thoughts on that win against Tampa Bay? A very, very solid team. Sure, they're maybe not Stanley Cup favorites like they have been forever. You give me Cooch, you got Braden Point, and you got Andre Vasilevsky. They're a good squad. And the Oilers, they deserve to win that game from start to finish.
Yeah, they played really well. Probably one of the better defensive games we've seen them play all season. It just gave you kind of flashbacks to moments in the playoffs where they were looking to close out games. And you got saves from your goalie, you got reliable play in front of him, and you pounced on your opportunities, I guess, too. And we're also able to create your own. I don't think by any means it was like the Oilers sat back and just absorbed the pressure of things, but I thought they just met fire with Tampa Bay and was able to prove that they were a better defensive team. And like I said, like Skinner made huge saves, and especially right at the end of the game, 9 seconds left. Like, we all remember the goal that wasn't from when Nick Paul tapped it in with the high stick. But the reason that puck was where it was is because Skinner just made a huge save.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was a good win, and it was nice to see them beat a team like that. To be honest,
a team that, dude, it's tough, and especially you were on home ice, but that's a good squad, a good goaltender, and you say you only scored 2 goals on Andre Vasilevsky. More often than not, Tampa's going to find a way to win that hockey game, but it was the Oilers' defense, and I like the point you made. It wasn't like they were sitting back and letting them dominate puck possession.
Yeah.
They were just content to, we'll keep it to the outsides, or we're going to pounce off your mistakes. We really like that. Also, Kiana's in and says, we love seeing all those big orange W's. How many W's in a row, Liam, has it been?
It's only been 3. I thought it was 4.
You want to explain to the folks?
After the game on Monday, from Tuesday, I tweeted out, let's go 4 in a row for the Oily boys. And then found out the next day.
Yeah, like 12 hours later.
During our show, we had actually only won 3 in a row. But 25 people liked it, so that's got to mean something.
Hey, 25 people that were just down for Edmonton Oilers W's. And let's talk more about that game, because there was one man in there who, and to be fair, your Oilers Nation Everyday Game Day Betting Challenge, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Liam. And you've been taking Leon Draisaitl 2+ points. I know your bet today was a Leon Draisaitl anytime goal, and why not? When the man currently leads the entire NHL with 20 goals on the season, sole possession of first in the league. He's got 20 in 27 games so far, and it is the 9th consecutive season that Leon has hit 20 goals. The only Oilers with more, Mark Messier and Jari Kurri. He tied Wayne Gretzky for that, and we can hope to see him continue to build on that in future years. But the crazy part about Leon's year so far, right, is he's tearing up goal scoring wise, doing things we know he's fully capable of and everything. But this year feels different. Yes, he's had 3 50-goal seasons before, but he's been known as, and I hate what I'm about to say, the power play merchant through and through. But you look this season, right? He's only got 4 goals of his 20 on the power play so far this year, which is crazy below his pace from previous seasons. His shooting percentage is nice and up. He's on pace right now for 47 even strength goals on the season. And, you don't expect those power play numbers to stay this way. We saw what the Oilers were to start the beginning of this season, and they're starting to pick it up. And the fact that Leon is leading the league in goals, and he hasn't even scored a number of them from his office. He's done them in different ways. I said, how many times I get to see many Leon Draisaitl breakaways? Well, he got one in the last game, and if he continues to play like this 5v5, and you bring in the account of the power play starting to cook here, and we know Leon, he's the finisher on that power play. His ceiling goal scoring wise this year it's through the roof. It's like Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof. That still never made sense to me ever. I know you've talked about Leon Draisaitl. We did yesterday on ONE. What was your prediction for how many goals he finishes with?
I think I said like 62 or something like that. He's, I guess, one thing for comparison's sake, you said he's on pace for 47 even strength goals. Austin Matthews had 51 last season in his 69 goal season. So the thing with Leon, he's on pace for 11 power play goals this season. Like, come on. We all know that's going to ramp up a little bit. And he doesn't even need to get that high. He's already on pace overall for 57-ish, 58, something like that, I believe, all combined. So I fully believe he'll get past 60. He's been awesome. And he stepped up when McDavid was out for those couple of games. And people say, it was only against like 4 teams. It's like, gonna get us.
I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit, brother.
And he got a bit lucky last game, and he's got a bit lucky on a couple of goals this season. But also, too, at the end of the year, when it shows that he has 60 goals, I'm not going to go back and watch them all. So
Victor Hedman kicked in one of those goals on a breakaway, actually.
Thanks, Victor.
The line I always say, right? You got to be lucky to be good.
Yeah.
You got to be good to be lucky. The two things go hand in hand. Let me know in the chat, how many goals do you think Leon is going to finish with? And for funsies, predict Leon's stat line tonight, because I'm expecting some good stuff. Also, Mr. Lubrication's on fire because his phrasing is weird. Says the worm is going to get one in tonight. I can feel it. We're just going to leave it at that, and we're going to continue to move along. Continuing, though, we got star power tonight, obviously, right? We got Connor McDavid. We've got Leon Draisaitl, but Kirill Kaprizov is having one hell of a season so far. Brett, I believe we have a graphic with Leon's numbers next to Kaprizov's as well, because, yes, Leon leads the league in goals with 20. Kaprizov right on his ass. He's got 18, third in the NHL. He's having a hell of a year, and he's carrying the offense for this team. And a team that isn't known for their offense, but they've got some sneaky good talent up front, man. They got Marco Rossi, who I know you have been loving in his sophomore season. I'm a Matt Bordzy guy. Got him on my fantasy team. A little bit of a sleeper, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You would think everybody else in this league and in this building at this company would know that Matt Bordzy's going to go off because he owns the Edmonton Oilers. I think he has 6 goals in 8 career games. But back to Kaprizov, right? He's a guy you got to keep your eye on throughout the entire evening. And I thought the Oilers on Monday did a pretty good job of limiting, I'll say, Braden Point maybe to his opportunities. Nikita Kucherov had 9 shot attempts on net. He didn't score, but he had more than enough opportunities. And I think tonight you're going to have to keep an eye on both 97s out there, the battle of the 97s this evening. And in 10 games against the Oilers in his career, Kaprizov has 14 points. One of them is a goal, so he's only got one. Thoughts on Kaprizov's season so far? And we always knew that he could do this. It's funny, right? It feels like whoever's in Minnesota I call underrated, because it felt like for a couple of years Kaprizov was that guy. Well, now you're that high in league scoring, you can't be underrated. And I'd argue, Ty said it today, Matt Bordzy could now become one of those Mr. Underrateds. Thoughts on Kaprizov's year and that top line in general, because they've been generating most of this offense.
Yeah, he's an elite player, and I'm not surprised by what he's done this season. I mean, at the end of the day, he's back-to-back, 3 years in a row, he's had 40-goal seasons.
Yeesh.
So that's pretty impressive.
And he did one of those in 67 games.
Yeah.
Holy.
So the kid can play, to say the least. And I think what's the most impressive about it is, like you just mentioned, Matt Bordzy and how well he's playing. And he is 100%. But he has 28 points in 20 games, and Kaprizov has 43 in 27. So that kind of shows it. There is how valuable he is for this team. There's not many teams when you look through the league who will have that kind of point difference and have also so much success. Like the Minnesota Wild have climbed their way into first in the Central Division, and it's mostly because of how well Kaprizov has been playing, as well as their goaltending as well.
But yeah, like 2 dudes.
Fantastic. But yeah, it really is. Like, if he was to go down, and I don't wish anybody to go down in the NHL by any means, but like,
unless it's maybe Seth Jarvis, so Zach Hyman can get on Team Canada. I love you, Seth Jarvis, but gotta make cuts sometimes.
But he's just so valuable to the team. I know I saw this. There's a gentleman sitting in front of us right now at Dog Patch who is wearing an Atlanta Thrashers Evander Kane jersey.
Baby blue jersey.
Pretty awesome.
That is incredible. I wanted to maybe get in front of the camera. We'll show it off later. We'll show it off. I saw Wallace was just capturing this moment. Wallace knows what he's doing. I also see somebody here said Matt Bordzy. Yep. Okay. All right. We can go with that. And you just mentioned it, right? I don't want to say it's just 2 guys. It's not. It's a team game. Minnesota's first place in the West for a reason. First in that very competitive Central. But if you look through their numbers, you look at one thing that stands out. You look at all their major offensive and defensive stat categories. Most, and I sound young like a kid here, mid, if you will. You look at goals against, well, they're number 1 in the entire league, and that is because of Philip Gustafsson and the season he is having right now. He has the best goals against average in the entire league. He has the second best save percentage in the entire league behind, I don't think any of us would have thought, Anthony Stolarz, the former Edmonton Oiler, is tearing it up this season. The Leafs are having a better year than they have in most years, and it's because they finally have a goaltender similar to the Minnesota Wild team right now. And you had the stat. Shout out to you for your game notes, Liam. 15 of his 21 games this season, he has allowed 2 or less goals. 15 of 21. I believe he has a 209 or 208 save percentage on the season. And, you know, last time the Oilers played the Wild, we got the Marc-Andre Fleury, right? We got the greatest bounce you could probably ever ask for to start a hockey game as Leon Draisaitl scored the easiest goal he's ever going to score in his career. Late one bouncing over Marc-Andre Fleury, but he was solid in that one. He stopped 28 of 31 on that evening, and we were lucky getting the backup goaltender. Tonight, it's going to be even tougher against Gustafsson. As I just read those numbers, he's had an incredible season so far. I do not expect it to slow down. I have some more numbers on him later in the starting goaltender report, but through and through tonight, the Oilers just won a game scoring 2 goals against another elite goaltender in Andre Vasilevsky. I don't know how many times they're going to beat Gustafsson tonight. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's doing
good.
really well.
He's good.
And like Tyler said on the O&E today too, like, they were trying to trade him last summer, and because of that, I went back and I looked at how Gustafsson kind of got into the league. So he's
Ottawa.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Penguins, sorry.
Oh.
But he played for Ottawa. So his trade tree is quite something. So he's 26 years old, drafted 2016, 55th overall. So his draft rights were originally traded from the Vancouver Canucks to the Anaheim Ducks in the Kevin Bieksa trade. He was then traded from Vancouver to Pittsburgh in the Nick Bonino and Brandon Sutter trade. He was then traded from Pittsburgh to Ottawa for Ian Cole, and I don't think Ian Cole ever played for Ottawa, but he was then flipped to however else. Also in that deal was Keandre Miller's draft pick. I'm not sure how that kind of worked out. And then was traded from Ottawa to Minnesota for Cam Talbot.
This dude's been tossed around everywhere.
So yeah, he's only ever played NHL games for Ottawa and Minnesota, but he is technically, if you include his draft pick, not his rights, he has been part of Anaheim, Vancouver, Pittsburgh, Ottawa, and now Minnesota.
And right, what do you say? He's 26 years of age.
Yeah.
And that is quite the journey to be taken around the NHL. And we all know goaltenders tend to develop late. I'll remind you of another 26-year-old goaltender who is developing right in front of our eyes. Just wait, people. Stuart Skinner. Final one before we move along. I just want to talk. I didn't get to mention this yet, but the Edmonton Oilers made a roster move yesterday to be fact. It was Alec Regula. Did learn how to pronounce his name flawlessly. They claimed him off waivers from the Boston Bruins. I believe he's still only 24 years old, former 67th overall pick back in 2018. He's played in just 22 NHL games. I watched his lone goal about 5 times as a highlight.
Wow.
Pucks on net, brother. But thoughts on the deal so far? I get it. The Oilers, they need more right shot, big defenseman in Bakersfield. Do I expect them to be playing for the Edmonton Oilers? The joke I made was, if everything goes proper, I'll never see this dude in an Edmonton Oilers jersey ever. And frankly, I don't really want to, but I read good things about him, right? Bigger body, right-handed shot, can never have enough of those. He's 6'4", and he's like 212 pounds. Bob Stauffer, the Bob father, we take his word, and he said he has playmaking ability. Who knows? I don't know. Thoughts on Regula, and as I said, we hope we never see him, correct?
Yeah. My only thought is, why not?
Right? It can't hurt.
He's not going to harm the lineup. You kind of need a right shot, I guess. And look, you can't go into the playoffs with this guy in your lineup unless Ty Emerson takes a gigantic jump. That would be kind of the only way. But I think it's worth a flyer. On top of that, the Condors, if you want to throw them into the mix, need some left shot defensemen. If Travis Dermott clears waivers, he was put on waivers today, then he'll go down there and kind of balance that out a little bit more too. So that's part of it as well. But overall, is he 6'4"?
Yeah.
We had a 6'4" defenseman who has had promising numbers in the AHL.
Yeah, I don't know what their team is.
The Providence Bruins. That's it. Plus 36 last year. It's not nothing. Bruce Kurlock was on O&E today saying maybe his footwork isn't the best, but he can probably play in the NHL, and he's puck skills are fine.
And if he's ever going to be playing, he's going to be playing 10 minutes a night, and he looks like a kind of big body guy that can get that type of thing done. Fun fact, you know which current Edmonton Oiler, hi Gina, you know which current Edmonton Oiler he was D partners with back in junior.
I do. And
Right,
I know
share.
the other, the two.
Oh, you
former
read
Edmonton-
Oilersnation.com.
The two former Edmonton Oilers he was in a trade with. You know that answer?
Adam Clendening.
The 3 former Oilers.
Did you notice that I saw that in your thing and I Googled right here
Adam
to see him?
Clendening?
He was in that thing you showed me.
Really?
Adam Clendening.
Oh,
Nick
no.
Bonino.
That wasn't it. That wasn't the
Oh,
answer.
sorry, not him. Yeah. Hit me.
He was originally traded to Chicago for Brandon Perlini. And then he was in the deal that the Taylor Hall trade to Chicago.
Oh.
So yeah, I believe that's how it went down. So yeah, he was traded 1-for-1, Brandon Perlini, and then was traded to Boston. Boston for Ian Mitchell. Sorry, Taylor Hall, who was in that trade.
Yeah, there you go. I see some people in here. Someone will claim Dermott. I think it would be great for the Condors if Dermott got claimed.
I don't think they will.
I don't really think that's anything. But also, it's your boy. Come on now. Once an Oiler, always an Edmonton Oiler. Let's go now. You know what? First, let's do a nice shout out for nationgear.ca. You want to look like Liam and I? Well, you can if you go ahead to nationgear.ca for pucks, cheer, and holiday gear. Nationgear.ca. You can buy this bad boy. You can get our new My City collection going on as well. While you're there, try a little Bordzy 10 promo code, all capitals, to get yourself 10% off. And come on now, I plan on wearing this. I said, like that 7 days, 5 days, whatever, like around Christmas, where you don't know what day it is, you don't know what time it is. You're just eating, drinking, and napping.
Yeah.
I'm going to do all of that with this sweater. And Liam, we learned today, these air dry very well. Share with the folks.
Yeah. So yesterday.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that part, but yeah.
So actually, I'm going to start with a bit of good news. On Wednesdays, I play virtual golf with all my friends.
Yeah, you should share this.
And I was a net 11 under yesterday. I finished 17 over. So my handicap is like 30, by the way, 29, whatever it is. So anyway, I get home, and to celebrate, I had a pita pizza. You ever had a pita pizza?
Dude, like where you make it yourself?
Yeah, it's just on like a pita.
Dude, it's the best.
It's awesome.
Sometimes I'll do non-bread pizza.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
crazy. It's crazy. I know.
So me and my girlfriend make them all the time. So I got home and I'm like eating away, and all of a sudden the bloody cheese fell off, and it's all over the front of my shirt. So I had to wash it. I only got it yesterday. So I washed it.
Yeah, less than 24 hours. You spilled cheese all over
I built cheese and then tomato sauce all over it. And then this morning I washed it, and I was like, well, should probably wear a sweater for this event that we have going tonight down at Dog Patch. So I washed it, and I brought it here, and it's just been air drying all day.
And the funniest part of that is because most people would say, well, you have to air dry it at the office. We moved up to our studio, and there is, in fact, a washer and dryer in-suite unit.
Could have just done it here.
I can't have them shrink.
I know. Guys like us, though.
Guys like us, we gotta keep it in.
It was my girlfriend is a big fan of this sweater, though. So you were saying you have to wear it. You're gonna wear it through Christmas.
Through
I think I'll have to wear mine on necessity, otherwise I'm gonna lose it.
So, I also, one thing I caught there is English, very English of you. You said, I got bloody cheese on it. Bloody cheese on it. And that made me laugh. Let's go now, though, to our Wilhauk Beef Jerky need to know information, courtesy of our friends from Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Wilhauk name, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more info, head to willhawkbeefjerky.com. Liam, I did that entire ad read word for word, staring at the camera without even looking down. Boom, that's a good omen today as we move along, and we're looking for dubs. We need whatever good omens we can get, because I want this to be a fun night. I want this to be dubs. I want us all. Also, people, we didn't do it yet, and I thought we should have, and I'm just remembering this now. We were going to make a squad ride bet.
Oh, shoot.
So maybe somebody in the chat throw me a pick. Maybe we'll make one. We've got 30
I don't know
minutes
what
here.
to do tonight, because
I'm having a hard time with betting tonight.
I think the Oilers can win this game, but I don't know.
Not by a lot.
I don't know how they'll win it, and that's my problem. Like I said, I'm going to go with a dry goal. I'm sorry, I don't want to get ahead of your schedule. I'm going to go with a dry goal because I just think it's the easiest thing, and also too like those odds are nuts.
Dude, you
Plus
said
155.
plus
Come on.
155 for Leon Draisaitl, who leads the league in goals
know.
and already scored against the Minnesota Wild. So we
Yeah.
do like Leon. Okay, we got one leg. All right, no, we made one leg.
Yeah.
Because we both agree with that. In our need to know information, though, the Edmonton Oilers come into this game 10-3-1 in their last 13 games. 10-3-1, riding that 3-game win streak. Wins over Tampa, St. Louis, and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Connor and Leon, they are tied for the team lead in points, each with 38 on the season. Obviously, Leon leads the league in goals. Connor, though, he is a cooking, expecting more. He wasn't in this last game against Minnesota, correct? Was
McDavid?
Yeah. I can't remember. I should know that.
Let me look.
You look that up while I continue, because in his career, this is why I asked, McDavid has 27 points in 23 career games against Minnesota.
He definitely did.
Okay, all right. 10 goals, 17 assists. So it's definitely point per game numbers, but you don't know if you want to bet that 2+ points, which I am thinking later tonight. Leon, he has 26 in 24 career games against these Wild, 15 goals and 11 assists. Then finally, it's our pal Cal. He's getting the start tonight. Calvin Pickard, in his career, he's 2-4-0 against Minnesota, but he has a .909 save percentage and a 2.80 goals against average. Picks, I feel like, is unjustly getting thrown under the bus a lot throughout the season. I just don't understand. The line I said to you earlier this afternoon, you can throw all these numbers and stats my way. For a backup goaltender, the one I'm looking at the most is the very first number in your column. It's how many wins do you get? And right now, he's 6-3-0 on the season. Yep. Thank you, Brett. Shout out to you. I also have this computer, and it is like leaning on this person's head right here. I'll buy him a beer later. Shout out to him. He's keeping it safe. But Calvin Pickard, he's been getting wins. He has more wins than he has losses. Double, to be accurate. So it's going to be a tough one tonight for our pal Cal, but I do believe in him. On the other flip of that coin for the Minnesota Wild, they're 19-5-4 on the season. First in the Central, first in the entire Western Conference. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10. They are red hot. And they're fresh off a 5-4 OT win over Utah on Tuesday, and they beat the Oilers 5-3 back in late November. We mentioned it. Kaprizov, he leads the team in points, 43. Next closest is Matt Boldy with 28, and then Marco Rossi, 24. I mentioned the mid numbers before, right? So Minnesota ranks first in goals against in the entire NHL, but that's the only major category that they rank inside the top 10. This is why I said mid. 12th in goals, 15th in shots, 20th on the power play, 19th shots allowed, 29th on the PK. The only thing that they have that is in the top 10 is their goals against, and shout out to Gustafsson for that one. News of note, injuries for the Wild tonight. They're dealing with 3 big ones right now. Joel Eriksson-Ek, Matt Zuccarello, and Jonas Brodin. Both forwards in Eriksson-Ek and Zuccarello are out with lower body injuries. Eriksson-Ek hasn't played since December 3rd. Zuccarello since November 14th, both lower body. And then Jonas Brodin, he's dealing with an upper body. I love hockey injuries, right?
I know.
Could be anything.
There's only 2 injuries.
He could be missing a tooth, and it could technically be an upper body injury. Who knows? Brodin, he's been out, though, since November 14th as well. So the fact that Minnesota is keeping the streak alive, 7-3-1 their last 10, without Zuccarello for all of that, basically, without Brodin for all of that, and without Eriksson-Ek for most of that, it's pretty impressive. Oilers going to be in tough. And obviously, Philip Gustafsson is going to start 14-4-3 record.
That
sucks.
Yeah.
As in, it's good because it sucks for us.
I was watching, so speaking of Matt Zuccarello, as we all know, the great Norwegian, the king of Norway.
Never forgot.
I was watching Norway versus Denmark yesterday. At the
what sport? What
this
sport?
is hockey.
Were you betting table tennis again?
World Juniors Division 1. It's Denmark, Norway, Slovenia, France, Italy, and then there's 2 other kind of mid teams, Kazakhstan and Austria. That's the other one. There's one more, I can't remember this. And I'm like, damn, I'm watching this game for crew purposes.
Always working, always scouting.
And this kid was running this power play. I'm like, holy smokes, he was good. And like, when you're watching Norwegian hockey, you probably think like, all right, I got an edge on everyone here. Who else is watching this game?
You can tell the talent when it stands out. You can tell when it stands.
Turns out the Anaheim Ducks are watching because he was their first round pick this last summer. I can't remember his name, But for all you Norwegian hockey fans out there, there's another one coming. I can't remember what he's called, but he was like 23rd overall.
Cheers.
So there's your need to know information about Anaheim Ducks prospects.
Did you watch the Ducks? Was it Ducks Habs the other night on Monday? Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't.
Thank God. I don't know if anybody did. Shout out Amazon Prime, though. We do love you. Let's go now to our Sherwood Ford Giant storyline this evening, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. Tired of dealership hassles? Well, Sherwood Ford in Sherwood Park is all about convenience and upfront pricing with their Giant Deal program. Get clear, no nonsense pricing on new and used Fords online with all incentives included. Plus, enjoy the ease of mobile service, free pickup and delivery, and same day or next day service appointments. Holy shit, you guys can't see what Lance Kane just walked into this building wearing right now. Lance, I need you to stand right here. Just so, look at that camera. Can they see you enough?
You got to step.
It's tough.
You can come
Yeah,
around.
come over here. Come over here. Thank you, Brett. I see you took off the sponsors.
I'll switch.
Come
Go
stand
ahead.
here for a second. Look at that camera. Look at this outfit from our boy Lance Kane. That is fantastic. Lance, thoughts, vibes, feelings on the evening tonight? You excited?
I think the losing streak ends for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Final one. How did you make this yourself?
I did.
That's so
That's
sick.
so
So
punk
it
rock.
took several months.
We went to a punk rock festival together.
true.
This is what I'm talking about.
There's a back patch that my wife painted actually for me because I couldn't find
shit.
a
You have
patch.
84, 85, 87, 88,
Oh, and there's
90.
one extra.
There's one for this year.
Because why?
It's a cup year.
It's a cup, yeah. It's a cup, yeah. That's what you get down here. Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
I
Lance.
literally
love
made
you.
this jacket
Dude, of course
since
you
the summer, since Punk and Drublic.
Of
I was
course you
just sewing and studying.
Everybody, be more like Lance. We also got your tweet right here as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won't lie. I'm stupid excited for the Christmas
I
party
was.
to hang out with my lifelong friend Tyler Yaremchuk and his comrades of note. With our we will take it, Lance. We love you. I'll catch up with you in a couple minutes later. We got
Perfect.
some awesome stuff
Take
ready to
that.
go tonight. We love you and we appreciate you. Everybody,
Thanks, Lance.
stick taps in the chat for my boy Lance Kane. Also, Mr. Burns is looking at me right there. I missed you. This is awesome. I wish you guys could
Yeah,
all
this
be
is
down
cool.
here. This is what we wanted.
Let's put this into there.
Yeah.
Probably
Tuck her in
looks.
there. Tuck her in there.
Ugh.
Davin, I'm not going to read this one, Liam, but
Oh,
no.
fair enough.
No. My Sherwood Ford Giant storyline this evening, though, is I guess I technically have two of them because my storyline is having a hell of a time down here at Dog Patch this evening. We got beers, Odd Company on specials. The Donair Burger. Did you already order yours?
I did. I ate it.
You ate it? Okay, review. Dave Portnoy scale, 1 out of 10 with the decimal point.
Probably an 8.7.
Crosby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Probably could have got on brand. Right?
But my storyline is how many beers can I drink and still keep it all on the rails for this one? I'm kidding. Also, Jared, our boss, just said to us, I'm staying up in the Airbnb
I
up
know.
there in our studio. So if I was planning on staying here, I guess I'm sleeping with Jared this evening. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Jared's staying up there. He needs to know the rule. 9
9 a.m. You're out. Your bed's made. You're showered. Everything by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually coming in by 9:30. As for the Oilers and their storyline, wait, there's two ways you can go. It could be the same as the Tampa, is you need strong defense because you have another good goalie on the other side, good offense. For me, I think it's about the offense tonight, finding a way to crack Philip Gustafson, getting him off his game. And if we remember the last game against the Wild, Liam, it was Freddie Gaudreau had 2, and I believe Foligno had 1, and they got them all. Maybe it was Foligno had 2. Either way, those guys got their goals from the front of the net, the dangerous areas, creating second and third chances, which the Oilers weren't doing in that. And I think that's a way to get them past, get pucks past Philip Gustafson this evening because he's not going to give up anything easy. You got to get in his grill, get in his kitchen, and get him off his game. So I think offense is going to be my storyline I'm looking for tonight. You'll also recognize that in Bordzy's bankroll later. Liam, if you had to pick what's the storyline you're kind of watching tonight, or it can be a dog pack storyline.
I'm looking forward to Liam's game.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's honestly what I wanted you to say.
Live and in person. I've got 3 big ones.
I don't know if
today.
the pre-gaming audience knows what Liam's game
So
is.
Liam's game is I just find former Oilers and
Pretty
I
simple.
just give you some facts about them. You have to guess who it is. It's guess the Oiler.
I got the second one today.
Yeah, I dummied them on the guys in the office before, and I wanted to make sure they would. You got to think about them, but they were pretty
No,
easy.
yeah. Dude, I didn't get one of them. So, but they're easy enough that once you said it, I went, fuck, I work for
like
Oilersnation.
surely someone will know. We also watched Eli fold a sweater today, which
that was incredible. Check Instagram.
Yeah, go look on our Instagram, Oilersnation.com. But my storyline in regards to the game, I've been thinking about this because Tyler always throws the keys to victory to me, and every time it's such a surprise.
Yeah, we do it every game.
Every game day.
Brought to you by Shirt Power Sports Marine, who brings starting goaltenders to you.
But it is very shocking when I have to answer that question. I can't even remember what I said. But I wonder if matching fire with fire is kind of the answer here. Because I believe the Oilers' offense can outduel any team, but the defense is almost what kind of lacks some nights, right? And I know they're coming off a big game. And even against Vegas, they played very well defensively. And who was between there? Columbus. That was kind of whatever, wasn't it? Columbus got two really lucky bounces, and it kind of that's the reason the score.
But I still thought they were good defensively.
I thought so too. And then who did they play on Saturday?
St. Louis.
And that was they took until the third period. So they've been playing pretty well. I'm going to say fire with fire defensively is the key to victory for the Oilers. If they can just get on level playing fields with Minnesota. And
your big dog should take it home.
Then, the Oilers have the firepower where, like, if you look, like we said, like Bordzy, Rossi, those kind of guys are really good players. But they're not better than what the Oilers have to offer.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at the projected Edmonton Oilers lineup this evening. Hit it for me, Brett. Also, just so everybody knows, Brett has to sit upstairs alone by himself in the producer suite right above me. There he is, looking like Steven Glansberg from Superbad. Eating ice alone, nerd.
Enough out of you. Okay, I'm leaving this stuff going. I'm getting this stuff going. You quit running your mouth down there.
Brett, do you have a beer with you, though? I know Pat got you one, right?
Nope, but I got a water.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
Brett's doing a great job. Then he's going to come join us down here for the party.
No.
He's up there all the time.
He's upstairs.
Lock the door, the glass door, see-through door, so we can still see people having fun, baby. Top line, no changes, right? Just the goaltender. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zachary Martin-Hyman with second line Vasily Podkolzin with Leon Draisaitl and Kasperi Kapanen. We want to talk to you about in 1 second.
Okay.
Third line, Matthias Janmark with Rico, Adam Henrique, who last pre-gaming, dude, the entire chat just lost a plot for 20 minutes. They were just ranking the hottest Oilers in the chat.
Oh.
Rico's number one.
Yeah.
Evander Kane got to be up there too, I think. But
what did they think of Stu? I feel like his mustache.
I think they were the top three. Leon was the one I don't think who made
podium.
Oh,
yeah. That's a big one.
Dude, I think got a hot team.
Connor is quite handsome.
He's getting there. He's like a fine wine. He's like a fine wine.
Well.
I'm getting worse with age. He's getting better with age. It's because I can't grow a beard. Your fourth line, Corey Perry with Derek Ryan and Connor Brown. Your decor, same as always, Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Troy Stetcher, and Brett Kulak with one Ty Emberson. And Liam, this is something I saw in your game notes, and it was awesome because it's been something I have been saying every single show so far. And one day, knock on wood, Victor Arvidsson may or may not return to this lineup, right? Nobby said he's skating. He said he hopes that next week Arvidsson practices with the team. I've been very clear. I don't believe a word coming out of Chris Knobloch's mouth, especially when it comes to injury, because he should be lying. He shouldn't be telling me the truth, and the opposition can read that regardless of the Arvidsson situation. Kasperi Kapanen has been holding down the fort on that second line right wing spot, and when RV hopefully returns, it's an interesting conversation because before RV got hurt, while you can look at the box scores, right, he doesn't have that many points on the year. We saw Podzilla, Leon, and Arvidsson were starting to cook. They were starting to find that connection, and it was a nice trio of Pods being physical, RV being ready to shoot, locked and loaded all the time and dry, just being Leon Draisaitl, a top three player in the league. And I'm curious if when RV comes back, he's been out for quite some time now. Can you just throw him up in the second line, or do you let him try and cook on a third line? Because there's still, as much as you think of it as a stereotypical third checking line, it's Rico and Skinner. There's plenty of skill there, and clearly Chris Knobloch likes what he's seeing from Kasperi Kapanen. His ice time continues to rise. He's been drawing penalties, and in that game against Tampa, massive blocked shot on Victor Hedman at the end of the game. And I point out to you, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in that game, D-zone draw after a whistle. Nobby threw out McDavid, Leon, and Kasperi Kapanen. And we know that Nobby is more about your defensive structure and commitment to your team game than putting up points here and there. Where do you think, when we're saying that Arvidsson is going to return, but we don't know, we think so, when he returns, what would you do? Not what would Nobby do, what would you do?
I think I would put Arvidsson on the third line next
I might
to
do.
Skinner and Henrique, and then I would healthy scratch Connor Brown.
I healthy scratch the shit out of Derek Ryan so fast.
Oh,
Can Janmark play center?
I just think the center thing is such a
But
weird thing to kind of deal with.
Yeah,
And if there was
fair.
any other player that could like play there, like if they really wanted to mess things up, which I don't think they do at all, they could go McDavid, Dry, Nuge, Henrique.
But so let me present this. We've seen Janmark flip sides before. He's been a staple on that third line, but if you bring back Arvy, it's Skinner, Henrique, Arvy. You got Janmark. You could put him in there. Or is my simple, just call up Noah Phil and send down Derek Ryan.
Yeah, that would also just be a really
That would
good
solve
solution
everything,
to things. I really do think that's the idea. And we were kind of talking about Derek Ryan in the office today, weren't we?
Aren't we always when Waz is around? It's so nice not doing a show with Waz right now because we can actually talk about Derek Ryan. I love Waz, but he's biased as shit.
Yes, he's very biased. I think that Derek Ryan will be gone once the new year flips. We had Bruce on today, and he said Noah Phillips seems to be kind of coming around. So I could see them calling him up in the new year. And I also think, too, it's good to be respectful to your players. And be like, Derek Ryan's a dad.
He's earned it.
You know, like, as much as it sucks that he's not playing well, there is kind of the human side of it, too. And I know that's not always brought into the conversation. I don't always think it should be either. But to answer the question,
The dead of January, he'll love going down to California.
Yeah,
he'll love that. We're doing it for you,
kids will
DR.
love it. Love it.
Kids will love it. Disneyland.
Yeah. So I would put Arvidsson on the third line for the time being, Kapanen on the second, and then kind of see how things go from there. I think that the thing with Kapanen that needs to keep him elevated up the lineup is I think you're just going to get the most out of him. And I think Arvidsson's game, well, I would like to preface, I do think Arvidsson is a better player than Kasperi Kapanen.
I know the point you're making because I read game notes.
As you all should. I do.
It's in the description.
I do it most Thursdays. Arvidsson's game style can fit a little bit better into what?
I think Arvidsson, the way to put it is he's less dependent on his line mates like Kasperi Kapanen. And it's not a knock, it's just a reality.
Yeah.
Kapanen's a guy who, to produce points, needs skilled line mates like that, needs people to take that attention away. I think Arvidsson, we've seen enough over the history that he can do that. Final one before we move on is you just mentioned Derek Ryan. I see people in the chat talking about the Derek Ryan slander. We need Philp in this lineup. Philp, please. DR, our Janmark could play center. I love you, DR. I'm getting frustrated at this point because his ice time is becoming borderline useless, man. I think it's been the only 5 out of his last 6 games have been below 10 minutes. The only game that was above was 10:05.
Oh.
It's in spurts. And yes, he's good on the PK, and I love him. I don't feel good about doing this. There's just not enough upside there. And I think the things that he does well are things that Noah Philp does well, and he does more things better. He has more offensive upside. DR only has 2 points on the season. And I'm not judging a fourth liner of how many points he has, but I think his greatest asset is the faceoff dot. I know Philp is good on that. He's a right shot as well. I just think it's time to finally, it's like old Yeller, right?
Take you up
Liam,
to the farm.
We'll let Waz take him out back because he's his dog. Let's move now to our starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Hit the trails this winter and the waves next summer. As fellow hockey fans, the team at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine are helping Oilers Nation fans gear up. Their home of an ATV for just $50 bi-weekly, or cruise the open water on a boat for as low as $105 bi-weekly. Sherwood Power Sports Marine are hockey fans helping hockey fans get ready for their next adventure with motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, boats, and scooters. It's never in the ad read. If you were to buy anything, it'd be a scooter, right?
From there? Yeah. I would love
We could be riding up and down baseline, going to local, coming back. You and me both.
I would love a pontoon boat. I'm not big. I don't like the water. So
Walter.
I would like a pontoon boat because you can just kind of chill.
Just chill.
Yeah, just vibe
Did I
with
even
it.
tell you what I Sharing moment,
There
timeout.
you
So I
go.
used to grow up in the country, right? I grew up on Half Moon Lake, right outside of Sherwood Park.
I've
This is
heard
the
of it.
greatest thing I've ever done. I'll bring a photo on post game. Me and my buddies one year built a 20-foot by 20-foot floating dock
Oh yeah.
that with rain barrels and everything underneath. I had a fence going around it with tiki torches each corner. I had a fire pit in the middle, and like other guys are out there on the lake on their boats. I'm just anchored down. I had cinder blocks to a rope, and I just throw it over. And we're like, you guys are making this way more complicated than it needs to
Yeah.
be. I'm a pontoon guy as well. I don't know, Brett, if we do have the goaltender head-to-head here. Let's just pull up Calvin Pickard's numbers. I see Stu with them as well. 6-3-0, 2.56 goals against with an 892 save percentage. You said earlier today on this graphic, we just cut out the save percentage on here.
I hate
We
save
don't really want to
percentage.
look at it. Oh, we should have that you and Jay debate all over again because I want to pull my own ears out of my own face or out of my own head. But Pickard, he's won each of his last two starts, 864 versus Columbus, 903 against Utah. And brother, once again, shout out to you for these numbers. Game notes. Edmonton's goaltending as a whole has been incredibly improved. Because get this, since the last Minnesota game, I do believe this is, Skinner and Pickard have allowed 13 goals in 7 games. Do that math. I'm not good at math. That is less than 2 goals per
Pretty
game.
good.
13 divided by 7. Somebody can let me know that. Hopefully, Picks can continue to keep that rolling. And as we said, I've got the most confidence in the world. And I mean, last game, Stu was no better. He allowed 5 on 26 shots against this very same Minnesota Wild. You got to put Pickard in its spots, and you've said you think all month long, every Thursday is going to be Pickard.
Pickard Thursdays, they're calling it.
That's what they call it. Liam does game notes. Pickard gets the start.
Yeah, they throw in the backups on Thursday. Yeah, I you know what too, like we were getting a little bit of criticism on O&E today for what we were saying. How like maybe this game's a bit of a punt because of who you play on Saturday, and then you started Pickard and all this, and it's not like a lack of belief in Pickard. It's just it is what it is. You're starting your backup goalie against one of the best teams in the NHL. I think basically every team in the league would. The fan base would have the same thought, but it's not to say I don't believe in Calvin Pickard. I think he's played really well this season. He's arguably been, from start to finish, probably the most consistent goalie out of
Without
the
a
two.
doubt. Without a doubt.
not-
Pull those numbers back up, aren't
So,
they?
I think
They're
Skinner's
slightly lower.
just
Yeah.
ahead
Shit,
of it
shit,
now.
that's
But
right.
I mean, it took Skinner a
Right,
bit
take
to
it
get
off,
over
take it
that. But Pickett's played well. I think we should believe in him, and I like him. Our Cal Pal is awesome, and I wouldn't trade for another goalie
No, and
unless something goes completely south.
and it's like I don't think that's gonna happen. And the fact of the matter is, yes, there's better goaltenders there. For the bargain that is the Edmonton Oilers goaltending duo right now, when you have to pay guys like Connor and Leon and Darnell Nurse $9.25 million, you need to find these bargains. Same thing goes for a Corey Perry on the fourth line as well. The other side, obviously, it's Philip Gustafson. He's a wagon. We've talked about this enough. Also, did you see how casually I ordered another
That
beer
was
there?
very good.
That's called pre-gaming.
The league average right now, Davin put in there is 900 for save percentage, which I totally understand that the two Oilers goaltenders
This is
are
the same
below-
conversation.
below
It's
900.
happening again.
But if you eliminate the first month of the season, which again is nitpicking stats, I totally get it. It's easy. It looks a lot better.
My argument I made to you earlier today, Chris Knobloch himself says he looks at the season in 8-game increments. You can't. What is the point of right now in our? Fuck, I hate doing that.
They're in
we're
game
in our
29.
we're in our 4th increment. You can't. Sure, you can go
Yes.
back to increment number 1 and be like, oh, he wasn't good. Yes, we know, but in increment 3, that 8-game stretch, there he was good. And I'm a what have you done for me lately kind of guy.
The other thing on Skinner that I had in the game notes as well. Since the start of November, he has a better save percentage and goals against average than Ilya Shesterkin, Ilya Sorokin, Igor Shesterkin, and John Gibson.
Oh my god!
Which I was very happy to see. Very happy to see.
I have John Gibson in fantasy, and the honeymoon is over. He's starting to get fucking shit pumped all over again.
Shocker.
Now. Shocker. Who could have saw that one coming? Let's go now to the away team lineup, the Minnesota lineup brought to you by Greta Baryeg. You know him, you love him. We tend to be down there a lot. Frankly, it's Thursday right now. I'm liking this intimate vibe here at Dog Patch, but people, there's a nice homestand coming up. The Oilers are on the road tonight. But after that, Saturday, and then Florida, and then Boston, they're going to be on home ice. You're looking for a pregame spot? You're looking for a postgame spot? Greta can do both for you. They got great weekly drink specials. They got an awesome food menu that is, come on now, it is pretty damn good. And I think I've eaten most things on that menu. And of course, win or lose, you can distract yourself with a ton of games, including the football game, which you need to get back in there. I don't know if I've ever taken you on a football game.
Well, there's another line after win or lose. And if you're going to Greta, you can definitely do it.
Okay, pulling up here for me. Brett, thank you very much. The projected Minnesota lineup tonight. Top line, Kirill Kaprizov with Marco Rossi and Matt Boldy. Second line, Marcus Foligno with Ryan Hartman and Marcus Johansson. Marcus squared on that line. Third one, Jacob Lauko, which I love today that you pointed out. Big LOTR guy. Big Lord of the Rings guy with Freddie Gaudreau and Yakov Trenin. Fourth line, I'll let you do the honors and read that name.
Marat?
No.
Devin Shaw.
Oh, no, you can do that one too. You can do that one too.
Okay. Do you think the K is silent?
I have no idea.
Marat Hush Nut Dinov.
There was a lot of nut jokes today earlier on ONE, and he's with Ben Jones. I'll take Ben Jones' pronunciation. I think I know how to say that. Decor, Jacob Middleton with Brock Faber, and then Declan Chisholm with Jared Spurgeon, John Merrill with Zach Bogosian. So you look at this lineup. Brett, can you go back to the forward group for me just to take a peek? I always ask my guests this, Liam. Look at that for. Oh, nice. He gave both. Brett.
Well
I
done,
should just bang up here so he can hear me.
Yeah.
Who's be your player to watch this evening? You had to pick out one guy on the Minnesota lineup. Who are you watching?
Well, I'll stay away from Kaprizov. Obviously, he's an absolute stud. But the one thing,
if you wear 97, it's a prerequisite to be nasty.
Yeah. I've always appreciated the games of Marcus Foligno and Ryan Hartman. I think they're two guys that are very under the radar of just like solid contributors to the team every year.
You hate to play against Marcus Foligno.
Oh, no, both of them are incredibly tough customers to play against, and just really reliable players I've found over the years with Minnesota. They always seem to score against the Oilers too. I think one of the two of them, I can't remember who it was, had a hat trick last season against the Oilers. You may remember the infamous Jack Campbell game. This was Jack Campbell's last game as an Oiler was against the Minnesota Wild.
Couldn't forget it.
If I remember correctly. So I like both those guys. I also really like Jacob Middleton, a guy who is from Marathon, Alberta. I don't know but he played in like the OHL, I think it was. I'd have to double check that. But he's just another player. He's kind of the Middleton, the Foligno and Hartman of the blue line. A good, reliable player and can play top pair minutes. And they got him for nothing from San Jose. So, yeah, they got him for Capo Kapanen and the 5th round pick. And this guy, from Wainwright, Alberta. So
he's a good Berta boy.
Good. Well, he played in the OHL, so he must have just been raised here to start. And
he's got a hell of a mustache in that photo. So respect.
Same age as me. Young lad.
I was just gonna say, but I'm older than both you and Tyler Remchuk. So when I look at this lineup, for me, it's always gonna be about Matt Boldy. For me, I mentioned 28 points, 28 games, 12 goals. He scored in the last game against the Edmonton Oilers back on November 21st, and just feels like he always scores against the Oilers. And he has 6 goals in 8 career games against the Oil, 11 points in those 8 career games. So expect him to get on the board. If you want to bet on a Minnesota Wild player, like your name's Matthew Wozniak, because he's just addicted to betting on the opposition right now. It's been rattling my cage.
I never do that.
Dog, why would you?
I never, ever do that.
I said, I've sat here and for pre-gaming, we're 27 games in plus 100, whatever we did last year.
Yeah.
I didn't predict a single Oilers loss. I didn't bet on a single opposition player because it's like borderline blasphemy. Was we love you. Also, Mulek, what up? I like Lubomir Visnovsky. He's wearing a Lubomir Visnovsky jersey.
There's some good jerseys.
There are some good. Evander Kane takes the cake.
I mean, it's not going to get better than that.
It really isn't. I wish Kaner was down here.
If you could have, sorry, I know I very close.
Nope.
Any jersey of like a team that doesn't exist anymore, you don't say who you would have on it, but what jersey would you have? I think Atlanta would be the one I would go with. Because
does it have to be hockey?
I guess not, but I when I would play NHL 2K7.
Houston Oilers is my answer.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's my
It's
baby
similar
blue.
color.
Baby blue.
Yeah. I used to play NHL 2K7, which I believe had Joe Thorne
Dude,
on the front.
totally did. I bet.
And you could change the color of the ice. I would always, for whatever reason, change the color of the ice. To
That's
play
why
to play.
2K folded in the NHL
Yeah.
world.
I'm play as Atlanta.
What are you, the
couldn't see
NBA Cup?
players. It was awesome. So yeah, I think Atlanta would be the one for me.
All right, we're running out of time here, so we got to do this quickly. We're going to do Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365, because Bet365 is a proud partner of Pre-Gaming with Bordzy. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today and use the code NATION. What does that spell?
Nation.
Damn right it does.
I-
With all capitals.
Pieces together.
I like that we're also both watching Coast to Coast Amazon right here on Liam's
JD's
laptop.
on.
Shout out Jason Demers.
Also, I'm waiting for the Washington Capitals
that-
to get a goal. And Michael Delzato,
That is Michael.
also a
Delzato.
friend of Oilersnation every day.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah.
And once again, the handsome quota is being hit this evening. All right, Brett, pull it up for me right now. This is what I went with, all right? And as I said, it's a tough one to bet on tonight. So my first option is a Boosh. 3 shots on goal. He has hit this in his last game against the Wild. Basically, you look at his game logs, every single game is either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I know he's the shin pad assassin. Couldn't find much more in there. I like the McDavid shot prop for 4. I'd like his Zach Hyman for 4. But tonight, I'm going to lower it, and I'm going to go with Boosh. And if you're going to give me minus 105. And then, Liam, here's where I haven't even made these bets yet, which reminds me I should do these now. I have Dry 2+ points for plus 160. And I'm like, maybe should I make that a goal? Same odds, 155. Then, obviously, the third option, 97, 2+ points. I stand by that one. It's in my Bible. If you're ever going to offer me Connor 2+ points and you're putting plus money next to it, I'm taking it 100 times out of 100. You don't make money betting against Connor McDavid, but we know this Minnesota defense and the style of hockey that they play. Liam, you look at these 3 bets. Which one do you like the most?
Well, I just took Draisaitl. So
The goal or the points?
I went goal.
You went the goal.
The LA Kings just scored. I will
I'm starting
say
Markstrom.
let's go with McDavid points. I'm with you. Plus money on that is really nice.
Right. It's hard to say no to plus money in that situation. All right, people, throw in your prediction scores, your score predictions, and your anytime scores. Liam, I will let you do the honors. Tyler is ready to get going on this party down here at Dog Patch. What's the score going to be? And I bet your anytime goal score is going to be Liam.
Yeah, I think the Oilers will win 3-2.
3-2.
I think it's going to be a very tight game.
You and Ryan S. are on the same page. He says Oilers 3-2. I think it'll be a tight game. Mikhail Drive says 5-3. Doesn't say which team. So I'm going to run with that and go with the
Yeah,
Edmonton Oilers Sadistic Angel 4-2. I'm tailing Lance from ONE 6-5. Mistaken, I wish you were here because you can't miss Lance Kane right now. He's a rhinestone cowboy right now, if you will. Little programming note as well, right? We're going to be live right here after the game. Me and Liam. Tyler might join us. Who knows? It's going to be a quicker version of Oilersnation After Dark because we got to get kicked out of this bar right now, but it's going to be a fun one. We're going to be doing these events. Hopefully this one goes well. We're going to do them all season long because I'm excited to go table hopping, table to table right now.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's going to be a good one. They're here for Oilers Nation every day.
Yeah,
And
it's
as Lance
crazy.
quite put it, he's here for Tyler and his 2 comrades. And that is the 2 that are working right now. All right. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Once again, shout out to Odd Company Nation Beer, Everyday Lager, perfect for game day, perfect for every day. You can get them here as well. And come on now, people. Good luck out there on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. We'll be live right here on the ON YouTube after the game. Talk in the post-game chat throughout the entire thing because we need all the good luck we can get tonight. We're going to have a night. Tyler's staring at me, smiling right now. Come on in. There he is. There he is. The boys are matching sweaters this evening. I love you all. Good luck. Throw down your courtesy like. Peace out. I'll see you right here after the game. Talking
Talking to
W's. Let's see it.